Good afternoon and welcome. We're thrilled that you're here to celebrate our Outstanding Contributions to Literacy Award winner. Thank you for joining us. And my name is Joni Smith, and welcome to our 33rd annual celebration and Outstanding Contributions to Literacy Award. We're so excited to have the opportunity to acknowledge, celebrate, and reward an outstanding educator today, Kim Bowen. I would like to welcome our winner, Kim Bowen, her family, colleagues, administrators, school board members, and friends that are joining us this afternoon. Our program will include some information about our organization, its history, purpose, as well as our awards. Most importantly, we are here to recognize Kim and her amazing career, and it's not over yet, but she is our 2024-25 Outstanding Contributions to Literacy Award winner. Later, during our breakout rooms, later in the program, anyone can have a chance to congratulate Kim personally. So we'd like you to stay with us until the end of the program to do that. We'll also be closing with a toast, so we hope you have a glass and something ready to celebrate and toast Kim with. Now I'm going to introduce our acting board members, Melanie Oliver, our vice president, Mike Barney, our secretary, Lynn Gurney, Tamara Manzapet, Julie Dooley, and myself, Joni Smith. Now, Mike Barney will let everyone know a little bit more about American Literacy Corporation, our history, and who we are. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you very much, Joni. And I'm going to talk about the history. We started in 1992 with Dr. Joe Stanchfield and her husband sitting around a kitchen table with some friends, throwing out the idea, how do we celebrate educators within California? That how can we encourage more educators to focus on literacy and to increase those literacy levels? And so in 1992, it started almost 33 years ago. We're a nonprofit. We're run by, as you can see, by either retired teachers or current teachers. And really that's who Dr. Joe hung around with all the time. She's a professor from Occidental, and her focus was on literacy and how to promote and achieve literacy. She also had a famous quote because she really believed that teachers were the gift that society can give to students to increase their knowledge and also their literacy. So I'd like to read that quote to you. First of all, in the context of education, this implies that teachers have the torch of literacy, that they have the knowledge and the understanding of the meaning of literacy. Secondly, Plato implies that those who have the torch will also have the desire and the will to pass it on. Enthusiastic, caring teachers pass this torch to their students every day. And so that's why we're here. In this case, it's now Kimberly. We're passing the torch on as she passes it on to her kids. I'd like to go ahead and introduce Melanie Oliver, who will talk about our goals, the awards that we're presenting today.
Thank you, Mike. Good afternoon, everybody. It sure is good to be in this room with all of you. Now, I believe that everybody in this session would agree that educators are surely hard workers. And as educators, we absolutely love to celebrate our students, celebrate our colleagues. However, most of us are a little uncomfortable celebrating ourselves, and we don't really like the limelight that much. And Dr. Joe, our founder, kind of agreed with that. And she wholeheartedly valued and appreciated effective educators everywhere. So the goal of American Literacy Corporation is not only to recognize and reward exceptional teachers, she also wanted the educators to strive to increase the literacy levels of all students. To support this, our website has free read aloud strategies created by Dr. Joe and available to all. So I encourage you all later to look at our website and take a look at those. Now next, this is one of my favorite parts of tonight, is I get to introduce you to our awardees' favorite book to read aloud to her students. So Kimberly has picked a special series of books, her all-time favorite read aloud books to share with her first graders year after year are The Nutshell Library by Maurice Setneck. This is a collection of 4 short stories, Chicken Soup and Rice, Alligators All Around, One Was Johnny, and Pierre. She has fond memories of hearing these stories read aloud to her in elementary school during after-school programs at the public library, surrounded by books and caring adults. Another reason this collection is one of her favorites in her classroom is Maurice Sendek's collaboration with singer and songwriter Carole King, who brought the stories to life through music. She composed and performed songs using Sendek's original text as lyrics. The music has made the stories even more meaningful for her and her students. Music builds community, joyful memories, and a love of storytelling. Every year, she gets to watch and listen to her students leave her classroom singing the stories by heart, carrying them with them as if they're their own. Thank you, Kimberly, for sharing your favorite read alouds with us. And next, I'd like to introduce Lynn Gurney. She's going to be sharing more about what the award and school sites receive.
Thank you, Melanie and Mike. That was fun hearing about that. And not only does Kim work hard as a teacher, but she also worked very hard to tell her story. And that was a perfect example of how good she told her story to us. And the Outstanding Contributions to Literacy Award includes $3,000 to each recognized educator who has made a significant difference in the literacy skills of their students. Not only that, a $500 grant to each awardee school for reading or language arts activities or materials. And beginning next year, we voted to increase it to $1,000. If any of our recognized winners belong to a California Reading Association chapter who nominates and writes a letter for a winning educator, they also receive $500. And they promote literacy, working hard as well. And here's some examples of what the schools could spend their money on. And Kim gets to make that decision along with her fellow teachers and principal. On the left, you see an author. You could pay for an author to visit your school. And in the middle are some literacy materials that could be for your grade level, for primary or upper grade levels. On the right, you can see it's spent on a family literacy night. I know our last winner spent it on, she had an author, Matthew Gullub, that came, and he not only presents to the students in the school, he also presents to parents. So have fun choosing this award, and we'd like to celebrate you with a poem. And every winner receives this poem, framed poem. A smile costs nothing, but gives much. It enriches those who receive without making poor those who give. It takes but a moment, but the memory of it sometimes lasts forever. None is so rich or mighty that he can get along without it, and none is so poor but that he can be made rich by it. A smile creates happiness in the home, fosters goodwill in business, and is the countersign of friendship. It brings rest to the weary, cheer to the discouraged, sunshine to the sad, and it's nature's best antidote for trouble. Yet it cannot be bought, begged, borrowed, or stolen. For it is something that is of no value to anyone until it is given away. Some people are too tired to give you a smile. Give them yours, as none needs a smile so much as he who has no more to give. Julie, thank you. You're going to let us know all about how we're going to celebrate Kim.
Yes, at last, it's that time of our event that we are going to turn the spotlight on Kim, and we are going to, Kimberly, celebrate you. And you know, us educators, we like a good protocol. So this is how this part of the evening is going to unfold. We're going to start with an introduction. Then we're going to follow that introduction with presentations by their leader. And Kim has two leaders with us this evening, and both of them are going to speak to her contributions to literacy. After they've presented Kimberly, we're going to unmute and we're going to give her a big round of applause and maybe even a woot woot or two. All right. And then we are going to hear from Kim herself. She's given us a pre-recorded speech recognizing many of you in this room, and then we'll end with a silent round of applause. And then following that, we'll go to our breakout room. So without further ado, the fabulous Kimberly Sakai Bowen, we are here to recognize you. Kimberly Sakai Bowen is an intervention teacher at Mary Casey Black Elementary in the Brentwood Union School District in Brentwood, California. She has two leaders here this evening that will be presenting her. The first will be Lindsay Waite, the coordinator of educational programs at the Brentwood Union School District, and her principal, Maria Gonzalez. And without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to you, Lindsay. You're up first.
Good evening, everyone. I have the distinct privilege of introducing an educator who embodies excellence in literacy instruction, Kim Bowen. For over 3 decades, Kim has been a transformative force in literacy education, consistently demonstrating what it means to be a passionate, research-driven educator who puts student success at the center of everything she does. Her journey began in Oakland, where she spent 8 years teaching first grade in Spanish bilingual classrooms, laying the foundation for a remarkable career dedicated to serving diverse learners. Since joining Brentwood Union School District in 2001, Kim has worn many hats. First grade teacher, middle school ELD teacher on special assignment, and now a reading intervention teacher and the district intervention lead. What sets Kim apart is her extraordinary ability to translate evidence-based literacy research into meaningful, measurable growth in student learning. Walk into her classroom and you'll immediately observe the rigorous learning environment, strong academic discourse, and student agency. Kim's impact extends far beyond the classroom. As a BITSA mentor, she has guided new teachers, sharing not just techniques, but instilling a passion for literacy education. As a teacher leader in the C&I department, Kim has been instrumental in designing and delivering science of reading professional development. What I find most remarkable about Kim is her energetic spirit and unwavering commitment to equity. Throughout her career, she has consistently championed the literacy rights of our most vulnerable students. Her bilingual expertise and cultural responsiveness ensure that every child has access to high-quality literacy instruction. Tonight, we celebrate not just Kim's individual achievements, but the hundreds of students whose lives have been transformed by her dedication. She is a literacy champion, a mentor, and a true educational leader. Congratulations, Kim Bowen, our outstanding contributions to Literacy Award recipient. Maria Gonzalez, I'm going to turn it over to you.
I cannot begin to explain just how much Kim Bowen means to our school. I've known Kim for the past 7 years as the principal at Mary Casey Black, and to say that she is not driven, compassionate in what she does is just, I mean, I had a lot to say, and now I'm just thinking about all these wonderful things that Lindsay just say, and I'm like, but truly, Kim, you are remarkable. You always put kids first. You put the most vulnerable students first. You're amazing at what you do. I am so proud to be your principal, to be a colleague, and more importantly, a parent. You taught my daughter how to read in first grade during a very difficult time in our world. And for that, I can be more grateful. And I will have to say, along with all the families that you reached out to, that we are thankful for the hard work, for the compassion, for everything you do every single day. And data speaks. Data speaks. And I just have to say thank you for being a part of such a great community and teaching our students to read.
Thank you to both Lindsay and Maria for sharing such wonderful words about Kimberly. The team, having looked at your application, were blown away and incredibly impressed, Kim. Thank you, Kimberly, for being a literacy champion. There's nothing greater in this world to be. Now we're going to turn it over to Kimberly, and she has a few words to say and share with all of us.
Hi, good evening. I have my speech written out, so I apologize if I keep looking away from the camera. I am truly honored to receive this award from the American Literacy Corporation this year. I want to thank the ALC board for giving me the opportunity to genuinely reflect on my career over the last 32 years of teaching students to read. I feel a deep sense of gratitude for my students, their families, my colleagues, and other teacher mentors who have helped shape my journey in education and literacy. As you all know, our work as reading intervention teachers focuses so much on our most at-risk students and our most vulnerable. It is also grounded in data, assessments, and benchmarks, but to me, it is also profoundly personal to see the actual light in students' eyes when decoding clicks, when comprehension deepens, and when they really realize that they can be successful on their own as independent readers. And having the data that supports this, there's just no other feeling like it. It has been all these little light bulbs over the years that have kept me going, inspired me, and has taught me so much as an educator. However, teaching is not just about instruction, it's about relationships. And I am so grateful to work alongside extraordinary colleagues at Mary Casey Black. I'm so thankful for my principal, Maria Gonzalez. Thank you for your unwavering support and trust. I also want to thank my district program coordinator, Lindsay Waite, for all her expertise, guidance, and encouragement, to my family who understand and support my passion for educating our youth, and to my mother who also pushed education above all else. I also wanted to thank so many incredible dedicated Brentwood teachers, coaches, and mentors I've taught with and collaborated with over the years. A special thank you to Joni Smith, who I also taught alongside many years ago. Joni, you always encouraged us teachers to learn and to reflect and put students first. I believe it is this process of reflection that has made me the teacher I am today. So thank you again to the ALC board members and its community for encouraging this strong reflection process for me, for honoring and valuing literacy and student growth, and thank you for celebrating me and other teachers in this unique way. Thank you.
Pause for just a second.
Sure.
I forgot to get everybody off unmute and do a big round of applause.
Yeah,
Can
we
we
need
do
to-
that?
Yes.
No, I see people are muted. Come on that mute.
Yeah. Felicidades.
Kim, this is a good time for you to hold up that check and that plaque. We are so honored to celebrate all educators that we do, but Kim, you hold a special place in several of our hearts. So we're glad that you applied this year and were chosen. In closing, ask that you take some time to check out our website, www.emerlitcorp.org. You can also scan our QR codes that are around. We have free read aloud resources, and our application for this year, the 2025-26, we're going to be toasting to our award winner in just a minute. We really encourage people in our audience today, principals, administrators, other teachers, to try to personally push someone towards applying for our award. We often find that teachers just need that little bit of encouragement from someone else to take that step and apply for our award. Now, we would like to personally toast to Kim. We want to thank our board for their outstanding dedication this year. Our board members work very hard, and there has never been a more important time than acknowledging educators, as well as our founder, Dr. Joe, and her husband, Stuart. All right. So salute, cheers, Kim.
Salute, cheers, congratulations, honey.
Congratulations.
To celebrate you and such a deserving winner. Finally, to end, before we do our gallery shots, Dr. Joe always ended her award ceremony with this quote: "You, the teacher, hold the key, the hidden key that can open the magic door to the wonderful world of books. The greatest adventure in school and perhaps in life is learning to read. You, the teacher, have the privilege of making this adventure a successful and exciting one. Pause for a moment to consider how important you are. Now go forth and hold high the torch of literacy." Thank you for joining us this afternoon.